Okay, great question. So what is shock? This is probably one of the most misused terms or misunderstood terms when it comes to basic life support. When we look at shock as a definition, it is a lack of ability to push blood through to tissues at a cellular level or to perfuse them at a cellular level to maintain normal life functions. When it comes to traumatic injury, we have the term used very colloquially, but we're generally dealing with what is known as hypovolemic shock. There's many different types of shock, but hypovolemia is what we're dealing with. So that is hypo, low, volemic, that is volume of blood. So going through and dealing with this, we generally break it down into three different categories. We have stage 1 shock, which is essentially if we've lost up to around about 15% of total body volume. This is where the person is not compensating for that loss of blood. They're sitting there, they may be a bit dusty, whatever else, but that's not too much of a drama. Stage 2 shock, anything over 15% up to around about 30 to 40% at a stretch, is where we're in a real dangerous place. This is where the body is now compensating. Heart rate is obviously elevated, which obviously in turn makes the respiratory rate increase as well. The person is now withdrawing blood from peripheral points, being the skin, and distal points, fingers and toes from the body. This brings about additional issues, but this is what is known as compensatory shock. That is why the heart's turning up, to try and push blood around the body, fill up the blood vessels, and obviously get the perfusion through to the different tissues that it needs to keep alive. Stage 3 shock, that is where we're dealing with what is known as irreversible shock. That is where the body is literally now lost its ability to clot blood. It can no longer kind of function. The heart will obviously begin to fail and eventually will fail, and that's simply because it no longer has the pressure within the actual heart muscle itself to maintain a normal cardiac rhythm. This is not a good place to be.